So, January 5th, and things are already starting to get real and serious. Last year, by this time, some countries were starting to get, serious with, lockdowns and also the pandemic, which was an epidemic at that time. This time, last year, it wasn't a pandemic yet. So, there's a lot of ways to spread COVID, a lot of ways to stay safe. And one way which you could spread, the virus and the, microbes in general is through our smartphones. And since we talk about that here on the channel, that's pretty much what we do all the time. I just thought it's essential that we talk about this. I'm not seeing a lot of tech YouTubers and a lot of tech websites and blogs talking about this, and I'm kind of feeling that kind of, why aren't we doing that? So today's video is going to be around how to sanitize, disinfect, sterilize, whatever word you want to use, how to do all this for your smartphones to prevent you getting infected with it. Not just COVID-19, because it's not just COVID-19, you can spread through your smartphones. The only appropriate thing you should use, or solution you should use, is 70% alcohol, which is also suitable for your hands, which is what you find in sanitizers and stuff, and also we're not spraying anything directly onto the phone to prevent moisture liquids going into the smartphones. And also because you have the ports, a lot of ports and a lot of openings on your on your phone, so you don't want the moisture liquids to just go in through those places. If you use ethanol wipes, alcohol 70% wipes, like those used in the hospitals and clinics to disinfect your hands or wherever it is they're gonna inject a needle into. So you could use this, or if you have a solution of 70% ethanol, you could just apply that onto a clean fabric, a plain cotton fabric, and also just a fabric that is a lint-free fabric. And I'm going to give you examples of those to use on your smartphone. One that doesn't leave smudges and any scratches on your display. So first things first, you'd want to start with your hands. So you sanitize your hands so you don't transfer any form of dirt or infections or whatever it is that you have on your hands that we don't know of. So you wash your hands first, and the next thing you do is you take off any casings and covers. You come to how to deal with the covers later on. So you take off any cases, unplug anything that's attached to the smartphone. If it's any charger or accessory you have attached or plugged into it, use your alcohol wipes, or you spray some solution onto a paper towel or whatever it is you're going to use, something that doesn't leave smudges or scratches on your display to damage or just ruin your display experience for you. So use that, and like I said, no spraying or dipping this into anything. So you start from edge to edge, clean also the entire surface, the entire front, back and sides of the phone. You should also be careful to not let anything get into the ports, the charging ports, headphone jacks, if you have one. It's funny that some phones do not have a headphone jack these days. So if you have any of these ports available, obviously you're gonna have the charging ports. So you should be careful to not allow any of the moisture liquids to get into this. And that is it. You allow it to dry on its own, because this 70% alcohol and stuff like related to this all have the contact time, the amount of time they're supposed to be on the surface for it to do its job. So you allow it to do its job, don't force to quickly dry it off when it's not done. But then whilst it's drying, you now deal with the covers. For the covers, depending on what they're made of, if it's a premium cover or a premium case, I don't know why I keep saying cover, if it's a premium case like a leather material, you wouldn't want to dip it into a solution, right? You wouldn't want to dip it into a soapy solution or something. But if it's made of rubber, or it's something like this which is made of rubber, but then this is really tough and quality than this one, although you can see this is actually dirt. You can see it's not the design on the cover, it's actually dirt you can see on it. So we're going to be cleaning this to make it much neater than this. And also this is pretty much the cheap ones you can get for, what is it, 20 cedis or 15 or 10 cedis or something, I don't even know. But these are very cheap rubber cases you can get. So this one don't really have that much work into it. You just soak it in the soapy water, just rub on it, and then that's it. But this ones you have to be really careful, because you can see there's accumulation of dirt on it. You want to deal with all of that. Another thing to note is if you have hands-free accessories like earphones, wired or wireless, you should use them to pick up calls or make calls whilst you're in public, so you don't have you're doing two things here. So you don't have to just touch. You limit access to your smartphone, and also limit the time your smartphone is exposed to the public, and then also limit the amount of infections, whatever it is that you're going to get onto your smartphone, because now you're in a mask, your face is all exposed to the pandemic, and you wouldn't want to get your phone close to this area at all. So when you're using a smart wireless or wired earphones, that prevents your phone from getting close to this part, which is kind of like one of the most exposed places out there to the pandemic. To get hands-free accessories like your headphones, earphones, or wireless or wired is still okay. This should take less than a minute to do if you have everything at your disposal. You don't have to go get them somewhere. But if you have them at your disposal, I keep touching my face and my nose, but I'm at home, so I think I'm safe, right? So I think that brings us to the end of the video. Doing all of this should keep you safe, and yeah, look, I have a lot of things to say about this pandemic and stuff, and but I'm gonna take a lot of time, and I just don't want the video to be that long, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. Just please do research on whatever it is that you have doubts about. Don't let someone mislead you and into doing something which you're going to regret later on in your life. Okay, a lot of people have opinions about the vaccines being distributed around. A lot of videos are being distributed around as well, just as fast as the vaccines are being distributed around. But let not anyone deceive you or mislead you into not taking the vaccine. If you don't want to take it due to your own preference, that is fine. No one is forcing you to do that. Okay, but then let not people who are ignorant about the whole thing just mislead you. I hear people talking about vaccines containing the virus, and it's kind of it's funny to hear that, because the vaccine actually has to contain the virus. But I'm not going to talk in depth about that at all. So please stay safe, and before the next video comes out, I will see you then.